A report from headquarters?
The enemy's heading toward us. Come back, quick.
Let's go, hurry!
Yeah! We won't let you go.
Hey y'all and every, this is Scoop DeVille 311 coming back at you with another episode of Advanced Guardian Heroes. This is episode 2, stage 2, and most of this video will be in post commentary. I wanted to talk more about the game, the mechanics and whatnot. And at the beginning of this stage, we'll be fighting trolls on turrets. Fight the 2 on the ship, and watch out for an occasional rocket from the 3rd one. It shouldn't be that troublesome. But about the stats. From top to bottom on the level up screen, Vitality governs your HP, your max health points or hit points, whichever one you like to call it. Mine governs your mana, magic bar, whatever you like to call it again. But to me, it's more of a stamina bar. Like if you use a spell and you run out of magic, the spell makes you run out of magic, then your character will basically take a knee and he'll be rendered useless. And I think the higher your mana, the less time it will take to recover from that. Now, attack is the damage output of your physical damage. Basically, your standard B combos. Pretty simple. Defense is your resilience towards physical attacks. Again, pretty simple. Now, magic attacks. Magic attacks is obviously the damage output of your magic attacks. And to use magic, you hold the block button, which is R, and press B, whichever one you have selected if you're using an emulator. And you can cycle through your magic with L, and the magic attack selected will be shown on the top right of the screen. Now, these squids, I could have sworn it was a different type of squid, so that's why I'm doing aerial attacks, but I'll explain that in probably like 3 seconds. God dang. Let's wait for it. Okay, yeah, so the red squids, they're the ones that you can only attack from above. That's why I was being cautious about the yellow ones. Now, moving on. Magic defense, again, like defense, is your resilience towards magical attacks. Anything that looks, well, basically special, has effects to it, it's a magic attack. And it also makes it easier to do counters, pressing R when you get attacked. And that's pretty much it. It has a little more uses than defense, but it's still defense. Now, mobility is probably the most important and least important stat. Mobility controls the maximum speed of your character, super armor, and your ability to use hyper mode. Now, for people who don't know, super armor is basically your resistance towards staggering and flinching. Your resistance towards staggering and flinching whenever you're committing attack animation. Now, whenever you hear a muffled thud sound and it's along with a red circle-ish effect, that's super armor, basically. And I almost forgot, the green bar on the top right of the screen next to the selected spell, that's your anger gauge. Now, it increases every time you get attacked and decreases every time you use super armor. When it's blinking, you can press A and B to enter hyper mode. Now, there are 2 other states besides hyper mode, but because I don't know the name of the second state, let's just call it super hyper mode. Super hyper mode is when you press A and B again when you're in regular hyper mode. I don't know the difference between hyper mode and super hyper mode, but apparently you receive no damage at all. This boss is Dylan, and I don't like Dylan, so I'm going to speed up this boss fight. Now, besides hyper mode, there is a state called devil mode. Now, when you die, someone... Actually, I'll save that for a bit later. Now, when you're in hyper mode, you become golden, and it seems like every single stat increases. You're faster, it looks like you do more damage, and your mana bar gradually increases, well, gradually recovers. And that's pretty much all I got to say to these stats. Dylan really isn't that tough. He's basically a child. Now, essentially in most RPGs, there's this character where you have to fight him throughout the story. Dylan is that character. This is not the only time you'll see him. But other than that, he's pretty pathetic, and I really don't like him. Alright, so this part of the stage is a respite area, and a respite area is basically my way of saying it's an area where they'll send low-level enemies, well, weak enemies that will drop hearts, so you can recover. Now, there are some techniques in this game that I didn't figure out till later, well, basically the next stage. The easiest technique will probably be the Earthquake, which is basically what I'm spamming now. Most attacks can be countered besides Earthquake, with the exception of some specific enemies. So yeah, it will help you a lot. If you're having troubles with a boss that will counter you a lot, you can just use Earthquake. And I was pretty sad that I couldn't pick up that heart. But boss battle.
I'm Genjiro, one of the ancient heroes. You must be soul of hero from another world. Let's fight.
Alright, enter Shinobi boss Genjiro. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but who can really say? And Genjiro has minions with them. Now, I don't like the whole minion system in the boss fight. Well, I really shouldn't say that, but I'd rather have the whole mano a mano situation. When you take out Genjiro's minions, they will, other minions will start drop kicking you from the sky. Now, if you counter the drop kick, well, whatever this kick is called, you will get a small amount of health. They will drop a small heart piece, well, heart. And the thing is, you shouldn't really try to regain your health from those minions, because most of the time you'll end up just getting yourself just messed up. And the thing is, if you were good enough to increase your HP by a significant amount, then you probably wouldn't be having that much trouble with this boss anyway. Speaking of the boss is tough. I have died to him many times besides this playthrough, but dialogue.
Finally, the time has come to release my body from this odious spell. Now once again, I have to see if you are the right one to face the mastermind. Get ready.
Alright, so the death count was 2, nothing more than that, and I actually recorded a little bit after the fight actually started because, well, Bandicam reasons. And yeah, I took this boss out on a 3rd try. He's not that difficult, but he is a challenge. But he's not that tough if you keep your wits about you, so. Dialogue.
Excellent. Take my soul and devote yourself to your journey harder.
Okay, so whenever you defeat a soul of hero, then he will drop basically a stat boost. This stat boost was mobility plus 10, so our mobility actually increased by 10 points. And you guys already heard me explain mobility earlier. And this part, these turrets do die. Well, these turrets do explode in one hit, plus the occasional rocket in the background. And there's nothing really special about this sequence of the stage. But there is another boss battle coming up real soon. And more plot. Alright, so this part of the stage is Counterattack Heaven. Now, you don't have to worry too much about the rockets coming at you, but what you do want to worry about is the projectiles from that fortress. You can't really take out the fortress, but counterattacking is a lot easier than just dodging and blocking. And this actually isn't a respite area. You don't get hearts and whatnot. They're actually enemies, but nothing too tough to handle. But back then, when I died at Genjiro, you could have seen that somebody told me that if I gave them my soul, they would give me power. Now, this person was actually in stage 1. You saw a quick glimpse of him, and I will show that on screen. But other than that, this has been my post commentary, and I'll leave the video in the hands of my past self, whatever. Now countering these I don't know, Destructo Discs, it's not really necessary for defeating the boss, but it does help in some degree. So yeah. And then these red octopi? These red octopi are back. They don't get that much XP, so there actually are just enemies and not just like a thing. And those bombs, they come out every time he hits the ship. Now you can just leave them alone, but this just makes the terrain more hazardous. So what I do is I just take him out. No, let's fake out. And then, when he hits the ground, he does an earthquake type move, meaning you can't block it, as I explained earlier. So all you can do is jump, really. Oh crap. And then they'll cosmetically show the damage you dealt to them. I do feel like I need more damage though. I'm usually the defensive type of character. Like my videos earlier, it shows me playing Dragoness. I usually play as paladin type characters and whatnot. Usually the tank. I thought I wasn't gonna make that. Dang fake out. Not this time. And he'll just like drop a whole bunch of XP. Yeah, nothing too difficult. The ninja was a lot harder. Ninja, Shinobi. Either way, I beat stage 2.